chapter 26, a psalm of David. Judge me, O Lord, for I have walked in mine integrity, and I have trusted in the Lord without wavering. Examine me, O Lord, and try me. Test my reins and my heart, for your mercy is before mine eyes, and I have walked in your truth. I have not sat with men of falsehood, neither will I go in with dissemblers. I hate the gathering of evildoers, and will not sit with the wicked. I will wash my hands in innocency. So will I compass your altar, O Lord, that I may make the voice of thanksgiving to be heard, and tell of all your wondrous works. Lord, I love the habitation of your house, and the place where your glory dwelleth. Gather not my soul with sinners, nor my life with men of blood, in whose hands is craftiness, and their right hand is full of bribes. But as for me, I walk in mine integrity. Redeem me, and be gracious unto me. My foot stands in an even place. In the congregation will I bless the Lord. All right, let's go back up, verse 1. Once again, this here's a psalm of David, a song, and it's a prayer, so to speak, to the Lord. And we're going to pick it up here in verse 1 with, Judge me, O Lord, for I have walked in mine integrity, and I have trusted in the Lord without wavering. Judge me, because I placed myself under judgment. And to place ourselves under judgment is to come under the rule of God's understanding, God's law, to make ourselves willing and respectful to the Father. In other words, it's a very simple thing. Understanding is something God gives us. We're going to get some good knowledge of that in Genesis. But anyway, God, we place ourselves under God's judgment, and it's simply to take responsibility for ourselves. See, for I have walked in mine integrity. And this word integrity is tome. And tome, and this word tome is going to be used more times in the book of Psalms and Proverbs than anywhere else. But integrity is my completeness, to me, in my fullness, or basically to be full of understanding, have an understanding of God, and this understanding that God gives you, and to take responsibility for yourself. I have trusted in the Lord without wavering. And to trust in God without wavering is that God has the knowledge and God has the wisdom. When we get ours from Him, when we examine these things with the common sense, applying the law or the Torah to its to examine me, O Lord, and try me. Test my reins and my heart. Examine me. Take a look at me. Try me. When God looks at you, He's going to inspect you and come over you with a magnifying glass, so to speak. God has to magnify Himself to us, and our sins are magnified before the Lord. And it's because we don't have no understanding. If we sin, it's because it's a lack of understanding. For when there's understanding, there's just no sin there. God, you have the ability to stand before God. Test my reins. Test my reins. Reins is something that gives us control over something else. And test it. Test out this. Test out my heart, my understandings. And our understanding is kind of like a horse. We have to have some kind of control on it. We have to put some bridle on it. And the law is the reins of it. 3. For your mercy is before mine eyes, and I have walked in your truth. Your mercy is before mine eyes. These things do I see. I'm able to witness the immorality of society. I'm able to witness the degradation of society over a period of time. And I understand these things, and I understand God's mercy. God's mercy is always there. He's using it's a warning, calling out to a generation, saying, "Turn." And I have walked in your truth. I've walked in the truth of God. I've took up the law, and this is the truth. This is God's truth. It's the law. It's the Torah. It's the understanding that God gives us. We don't have to go get it from somebody else. God gives it to us, and when we hear the truth, we know it is. It's just like something in our mouth. If it's sweet, we know it's sweet. For I have not sat with men of falsehood, neither will I go in with dissemblers. I've not sat with men of falsehoods, and that's to be with. To sit is to be in the company with, to go in with, to be part of these men of falsehood. These men of falsehood are those of, I believe King James Version says, vain persons. These ones who are deceitful even. And they sit there and they make plans. We're going to find out. They contemplate wickedness. But these, neither will I go in with dissemblers. This word dissemblers, today we think of dissembler as somebody who takes something apart. But this word is alam, and it means to conceal, to hide something. Those that try to do things in secret, like they're getting away with something, like they can't be seen. We'll find out. These are those that hide in the darkness, hide in the corners. They take advantage of the weak and the poor. They ain't getting away with nothing, though. 5. I hate the gathering of evildoers, and will not sit with the wicked. I hate the gathering of evildoers. And this is the congregation of those that plan mischief. And this is those ones that think about it, and they got plans of wickedness. King James Version, it says evildoers, but the word is ra'ah, and it means to be bad, to be evil, even to be injurious to people. And that's exactly what they are. They plan this mischievousness, and it's all for gain, all for money, not having no understanding that the great damage they're doing, their wickedness. And I will not sit with the wicked, and that's those that just plain wicked. They're evil. They refuse to hear. They refuse to understand. They're out for gain and money, and that's it. 6. I will wash my hands in innocency, so will I compass your altar, O Lord. I will wash my hands in innocency. To wash my hands is to mean I'm going to wash my hands, make them clean from whatever I've just done. It's an innocency. This innocency here is, this word is nikayon, and it means to be free from guilt, to be not worthy of a punishment, because we'll find out. It's to have done it in a way that's for the good. It's to be clear of punishment, to be pure, and it's to have the best of intentions for anything that we do. And so will I compass your altar. So will I compass. And this word compass, we would get this word, it would be to go around. But this word here is sabab. This word is sabab. And what that means is to turn. Turn about around. Or aside or back. Or towards. Go about or around. Surround. And circle. Change directions. To return. See, to come back to, I will have to wash my hands. I will have to make my works clean and in innocency, having taken the judgment for God, for taking the judgment for things I've done, and have returned to God with clean hands. 7, or wash my hands. Make now what I've done to be for a good thing. 7, that I may make the voice of the thanksgiving to be heard, and tell of all your wondrous works. That I make this voice of thanksgiving to be heard. To give thanks to God for what he did for me. He turned me and brought me forth from the grave. He gave me the law, give me understanding, give me a place to stand, where I can go forth with some knowledge and with some wisdom. Redeemed me, caused me to return to his altar, his place where he has made, that I could speak of his wonderful works that he's done in the earth, whereby I sing. 8, Lord, I love the habitation of your house, and the place where your glory dwells. And I love the habitation of God's house. God's house is a simple thing. It is a place to gather, to have understanding, where those who of an understanding gather. See, those that are respectful, are willing. They have it's an understanding. Even the great tent or the place of the congregation. This is the purpose, is to wash our hands, that we can enter in and to give praise to God. 9. Gather not my soul with sinners, nor my life with men of blood. Don't gather my soul with sinners. My soul is that inward man, this man of inwardness. Don't gather it or with sinners, because that's where we'd be found now if it became our time. This was our place when we were to be gathered. If we were found there, it's one thing to be found there doing good work. It's another to be found there dead in the grave, among those of sin. Nor my life with men of blood. And these men of blood here are those that are going to cause the injury, those that do wickedness. These are men who have no care, who seem to not care at all about God or his understandings or his knowledge. We'll find out. They are wicked, and God's got them somewhere in their turn or in their judgment, one way or the other. 10. In whose hand is craftiness, and their right hand is full of bribes. And these are those men of blood. Their hands, their works, are in craftiness. They're preparing, or always this. King James says mischief. The word is zima, and what that means is to devise wickedness, and they plan evilness, mischievous purposes, and making devices. They come up with things. They're con artists is what they are. And they're always running a show of some kind. This has been going on since the beginning of time. Don't think it's anything new about this. It's like a circus ring. God keeps it going around and around. It's like one of the greatest shows on earth, literally. And in their right hand is full of bribes. They got all kinds of presents in their works. They always got something to give you, offering you something. We'll find out. All things come from God. All things good. They come from God. No man can offer you anything. No man can give you anything. He receives everything that the Lord allows him to have. He gets nothing. And that which he makes by his own hands is just wickedness. 11. But as for me, I will walk in mine integrity. Redeem me, and be gracious unto me. But as for me, and this is the only one I will ever be able to speak for, it's just me, myself, because I'm in mine integrity. And I've got my own understanding, see. God gave it to me from the beginning. It's not going to be violated. It's not going to be overtramped. God is God. God is the Almighty. He is the existing one. There is no other. All others are idolatry. This word integrity, once again, tom, it's the fullness, completeness. I've taken responsibility for myself, and that's to stand up under judgment. I'll take what I got coming, because I know that now that if I receive the law, see, the law has come forth to judge me. I have allowed God's judgment upon me. Be gracious unto me, Lord. Be merciful, and I know God is merciful. God is always gracious. 12. My foot stands in an even place. In the congregations will I bless the Lord. My foot stands in an even place. My foot is this, what I go on. That's what I'm going on, what I'm standing on. My feet, this place where I stand. It's in an even place. It's of equality. I told you that God's house is on a plane, and that's its level. It's equal. and it's equal to everybody. It's a mound we see placed on every generation from before, and this mound is those that refuse God, those that won't serve God. They're returning to the earth. They build the mound, so to speak. God places his house upon every generation, and every generation can get God's understanding. There's nothing going to change. Nothing's going to change. It's an everlasting covenant that he offers. And in the congregation, that's the congregation of those that gather in God's understanding. That's who the congregation are. These that come in truth, these that come in understanding. They know it's about the law and then serving God, having understanding. It goes above words of men to an understanding that only God can give you from the law, from the Torah. And we're going to move forward in chapter 27. Turn and return